Hi guys, and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Andrei. I live in Russia and I am taking you on a road trip across the country from Saint Petersburg to Kazan. This is day 3. We started this day in one of the oldest cities in Russia, Kostroma. It was founded in 1152, that's more than 600 years before the United States even existed. It's quiet, it's cloudy, and it's very Russian. Today we'll explore this historic city on the Volga River and then drive 600 kilometers east through the back roads of central Russia. Today we will see small villages, bad roads, a museum that looks like a giant airplane, and hear the story of the first Soviet pilot to fly non-stop from the USSR to the United States. Let's go! It's morning in the Kostroma and the weather today is not as good as yesterday. It's cloudy and it's a little bit cold because of 13 degrees on the street, and I'm a little cold. It's chilly, guys. And now we are going through Kostroma riverside, and it's a great Russian river that's called Volga. Kostroma isn't just another old Russian town, it's where the Romanov dynasty began. In 1617, after years of civil war, a teenage boy named Mikhail Romanov was hiding in a monastery here, when messengers from Moscow came to ask him to become the new Tsar. That moment changed Russian history. The Romanovs ruled for the next 300 years. Kostroma and the Volga River are inseparable, and of course I wanted to see the Volga from above. So I headed to the first viewpoint, called Ostrovsky Pavilion. But honestly, it felt like a leftover from the Soviet days. The view was not great. Let's climb higher. There must be something better. Now we are heading towards to the observation deck to see the greatest Russian river Volga. Its length 3,530 kilometers. It's the longest river in Russia and the longest river in Europe. By the way, let me clear up a common myth. A lot of people think Russia is just cold and snowy all the time, but it's not. Right now it's May 21st and spring is in full swing. The trees are blooming, the grass is green, and it's about 16 degrees Celsius outside. In May in central Russia it can be anything, from 10 to even 30 degrees. So no, we don't live in an ice kingdom year-round. We are walking through old Kostroma. Quiet streets, wooden houses, faded colors. Feels like time stopped here. There is still some charm in it. Oh, and the rabbit hunt goes on. If you saw the last episode, you get it. I love finding small details like this. They tell stories, even if no one notices. You can walk away 2 minutes from the city center of Kostroma and see a real life. These are old houses, that's about 200 years, and a regular Russian yard with a little private house and parking on the trees, in the trees. And as we keep walking, take a look at the cars. Most of them aren't Russian, because honestly, people here don't really love Russian cars, they prefer something more reliable. Well, except these, all Soviet classics, not for driving, for memories, like this little Zaporozhets. Tiny, adorable and totally part of the street, a piece of history with headlights. Kostroma feels like a city made of layers. You walk past old wooden houses, quiet, tilted, full of stories. Cats come and go like they run the neighborhood. You can feel calm, almost village-like vibe. And then, out of nowhere, you turn a corner and boom, Imperial Russia, right in front of you. This used to be the house of the nobility, built back in the 1700s. Even Emperor Nicholas II visited this place. They held royal balls here, big decisions were made here, and now it's just another beautiful spot. That's why I like cities like this. You can really feel here the spirit of time. You can see different architecture, you can see Soviet architecture, you can see ancient architecture, and you can see the modern Russian architecture. It's really interesting. And Kostroma, it's a great choice, especially you have never been here. In Russia, I mean. And of course, a theater. I told you, right? In Russia, even small cities have one. It's part of who we are. Theater is still a big deal here, a tradition that goes way back. Kostroma is part of a Golden Ring, a classic Soviet tourist route, connecting some of Russia's oldest towns. It's one of the few ways foreigners saw the USSR. Churches, monasteries, old streets. Even today it still feels like a trip back in time. This place has a quiet charm, but also contrast. A perfectly restored church, right next to a collapsing wooden house. That's what makes it real. We can buy magnets here. 200 rubles, that's about $2.5 American. Alright, I think we've walked enough for this morning, and now it's time to get moving. It's already around noon, and we've got a long way to go, about 600 kilometers ahead. Doesn't sound too crazy, right? Well, there is a catch, no highways out here. We'll be driving through small towns, tiny villages, winding back roads. It's gonna be a full day on the road, so let's get started. We are heading towards to Nizhny Novgorod city, and it started a heavy rain. But the road is good and I can drive fast. We have speed limit in Russia, that's 90 kilometers per hour, but we don't have any penalties if we're speeding less than 20 kilometers per hour. So I can drive 110 kilometers per hour and I don't have any penalties. A bit later, we stopped in a small town on the banks of the Volga. It may look quiet, even forgettable at first glance, but this place is special, because here was born a man who, quite literally, connected the Soviet Union and the United States. How? I'll tell you in just a moment. We stopped in the small town Chkalovsk. It's the birthplace of a famous pilot Valery Chkalov. And here there is an outstanding building. It's a museum of Valery Chkalov, and it looks just amazing in this small town. So, who was Valery Chkalov, and why does a quiet town have such a huge museum? In the 1930s, he was a Soviet aviation star. He dreamed of flying to America, but Stalin kept saying no. After 2 record-breaking flights, Stalin finally gave the green light. On June 18, 1937, Chkalov took off from Moscow, 3 men, 1 plane, no stops, over the North Pole. 62 hours later, they landed in the US, over 9,000 kilometers, almost 6,000 over open ocean. It was the first non-stop flight from the USSR to the USA. Chkalov made history and lived his dream. But just a year later, he died testing a new fighter jet. The engine failed. He was only 34. And this is why the town built such a massive museum, to honor the man who connected 2 worlds through the sky. It looks absolutely huge, almost surreal, next to the small houses around it. Let's take a look inside. Today the building works more like a community center. They host conferences, local events, even school clubs and workshops. They say if you look at this building from the top, you can see airplane because of Chkalov was a famous Russian pilot. It's interesting, but I can check it because drone flights now in Russia is prohibited, unfortunately. Why I can't use my drone? Well, I think you can guess. Right now Russia is involved in military conflict, and if I try to launch my drone, which I used to fly freely just a couple of years ago, it might get shot down, and I might get in serious trouble. So all the drone footage that you see in this video is from my archives. So I decided to take a little more walk through the quiet streets of Chkalov. Oh, this is my favorite part when I walk on such small towns. It's Russian wooden houses. It's really beautiful. Just look at the windows, just look at the details of these houses. It's really beautiful, but it's a modern Russian architecture. And it looks not so good as this one and this one. After an hour in Chkalov, I hit the road again, 350 kilometers to the city of Cheboksary. Most of the drive rain, heavy, steady, annoying. But near sunset, the M7 highway, clear skies, dry road, perfect ending to a long day. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Andrei Vasiliskov and I am just starting to make videos in English. If you liked this one, please like, subscribe and leave a comment. Your support means a lot right now. And if there is something you want to know about Russia, just ask. Maybe I think I am showing something interesting, but you might want to see something else? Tomorrow we are heading to Kazan, the third capital of Russia, after Moscow and Saint Petersburg. A place with a total soul, a stunning mosque called Kostroma, and even a legendary dragon that guards the city. Oh, and just outside Kazan, we'll visit a place they call the Russian Taj Mahal. So stick around, the journey is just getting started.